Hey guys, welcome back to PopYaCulture. Today I'm going to be doing a review on Batman vs Superman, the Ultimate Edition Blu-ray. So for those of you who don't know, earlier this year we got the Batman vs Superman movie theatrical release, and now they've released it on Blu-ray, and they're calling it the Ultimate Edition, and they've added 30 minutes to the overall runtime of the movie. So that brings it up to about 181 minutes runtime. So it's a 3-hour long epic movie. Now, the original movie itself didn't really live up to the expectation that a lot of people were hoping for. So, the theatrical release of Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice starts out with the premise of following on from Man of Steel movie. So we met with Clark Kent and Superman and how he's dealing with becoming Superman. And the movie goes on and we're introduced to Lex Luthor. Probably the worst part of this movie is Lex Luthor. And then on to Batman, and there's a story that is all messed up and it intertwines and eventually end up with Batman versus Superman in a bit of a fight. Although it's really hard to believe why they fight. And the kookaburras. Batman vs Superman. For some reason they're fighting. And to be honest, after watching the movie, I don't even really understand why. Somehow Lex Luthor twists them again, turns them against each other, although they're not really allies or anything to start with. Lex Luthor being the worst part of this movie. Just this little whiny, psychotic, crazy maniac that the government just allowed to access all this, Kryptonian technology and give him the kryptonite. Oh, that's a good idea. Fuck, the guy's mental. Anyway, so the Ultimate Edition, like I said, adds the 30 minutes. I'll give it this, is that the extra 30 minutes really do add to the narrative, and a lot of the holes that were in the overall original theatrical release are kind of fixed up, and there's some aspects to like Lex Luthor's character particularly. There's two major parts that they've added, which it really explains a lot of things about Lex as to why he knew things and as to why he's a little bit more crazy. And also I feel that some of the information that they've added is going to be really kind of a bit critical in the next movies when they come out. So other than that though, the extra content isn't really needed, and you can see why they did remove it. However, like I said, it did make a much more stronger narrative. And it does make the movie feel a little bit more cohesive, and I feel like it needed to, because as we know, the original theatrical release had so much content in it, and they're like 2.5 hours. It was just like cram. So this extra 30 minutes sort of allows for a lot of that to sort of flow a bit more, although then saying that, it makes it a 3-hour movie. So do you want to sit around and watch it for 3 hours? Content, it's not really anything overly special. There is two pieces, like I said before, with Lex Luthor that really they really shouldn't have cut that out. It really just completely makes the character make a lot more sense now. I still think he's the worst part of this whole movie, just because he's like loopy and crazy, and Lex Luthor's meant to be like a powerhouse. Let's bring it down. Although I have heard that he's meant to be based on Lex Jr. and not the normal Lex Luthor. In all honesty, I reckon bring back Kevin Spacey and fuck Lex Luthor. Let's fucking bring Frank fucking Underwood in. Frank Underwood can be fucking Superman's arch nemesis. He's fucking awesome. So fuck Lex off, Frank Underwood. And like the original theatrical release trailer, theatrical release movie, it still has a lot of this extra content in it, and so, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it at all, this is a spoiler alert. The future sequence with Batman having a nightmare about the future, I like it. It was really well done. But like totally just didn't need it. Like people are already confused enough. The majority of people coming to watch this movie are not DC comic book fans. And they're like, well, Batman and Superman are in the same universe. I didn't even know that. And whoa, it's the future with this happens. And try not to spoil it as much as I can here. So I feel like they really needed to cut that down and like cut out all the actual footage from the future and just have the premonition from the messenger. I won't say who that is. I'm going to do another video later, ripping the shit out of it, so and telling it and saying what should have happened, things that could make it right. Batman vs Superman Ultimate Edition. It's out on Blu-ray now. If you liked the movie at the theaters and you enjoyed it at the movie, then go out and buy the Blu-ray because it is a better narrative version of that movie, 100%. So like if you enjoy the movie and you like it and you like the DC Universe Batman movies, Batman Superman movies, I recommend watching the Ultimate Edition because it is a far better version than the original movie. However, if you didn't enjoy the movie, the original theatrical release, and you found it to be, have too many holes in it and too much content and too confusing, then it is not worth sitting through a 3-hour version of the movie just to see the small bits and pieces that they've added here and there, which really, most of them, they cut them out for a good reason because a lot of people just can't sit there in the movies for that long. Even 2.5 hours. I admit, watching the movie originally in the theater, I was struggling. Like, even though I was still entertained, and that's pretty much my review of the Blu-ray without sort of tearing it apart, without spoiling it. Because it's very hard to really explain the premises without really ruining anything, because I feel the best way to see this movie is to not know anything, and particularly to not see any of the trailers that give away the plot line. I don't know what the hell they were doing there. Anyway, the Ultimate Edition didn't change my opinion of the movie. I still am not really that much of a fan of it. I do like the individual bits and pieces. I just feel like it's just too much smashed together. So that's it for my review of the Ultimate Edition. Like on Facebook and Twitter, and I'll see you guys again soon.